Uh, Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Test, test. Awesome. Good. Okay. So, just gonna take a bit of this in before I start. Animation updates, icons, random colors, save life. Cool. Okay. Hold on. Why can I never remember? Always lose track. That should. Oh no, that's the wrong thing. That's the one. Okay. All right. Good. We good. All right. Start recording and yeah. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of podcast. Interesting week this week. We have an episode really that's going to look at the technical alpha of D2 Resurrected and all the lessons that were taken from it. I was going to do something else this week, but this update is pretty meaty in terms of the things that were taken away from it. And I am going to actually go into detail about this one. There's enough stuff in here that I think really deserves some attention here. So I'm going to switch my screen. For anyone watching on YouTube, you'll see it. And on the audio version, I'll just talk through this. All right, so here we have the Diablo 2 Resurrected Technical Alpha Learnings. And just to go through this, it says evil has survived. More than 20 years after the release of Diablo 2, fans and new players alike return to the timeless classic of Diablo 2 in Diablo 2 Resurrected. Technical Alpha. From the beginning, we've set out to make a game that will honor the legacy of the original. Whether you participated directly in the playtest, sent us valuable feedback, or watched the game during a live stream, your input has been greatly appreciated. So they're saying they made a lot of progress since the April test, and that they took a lot of lessons away from the tech alpha. So they're going to discuss some of the changes. And this important note about Diablo 2 Resurrected is still in active development. Game content discussed in this blog is not final and subject to change. Very important. So, starting with art and visuals. Our team of artists has remastered this old school ARPG with the graphical fidelity of the current generation. They've taken great care to advance the visuals of the monsters, heroes, items, and spells while preserving the familiar aesthetic of the original. We hope Diablo 2 Resurrected to bring nice, treasured memories of gaming's past for veteran players. For new players, we hope it captures the same wonder and awe felt by fans 2 decades ago. Hopefully. So the VFX updates. Lightning. Sorceress may use lightning, a powerful skill which shoots a bolt of electricity from the sorceress's fingertips. Based on community feedback, the lightning VFX has been enhanced with a whiter and thicker visualization that is more reminiscent of the original. Seems good. They're not showing that, but they are showing Blizzard and how that is updated. So I'm just looking at the GIF of the comparison between Diablo 2 and Resurrected version. So they're showing all three. It's just showing the original D2, the Tech Alpha version, which looks okay, and then the post, which actually looks better. Looks more like the original with the bigger chunks of snow falling from the sky. Really neat. Holy Freeze. Using this aura, the paladin can constantly slow and freeze enemies in near proximity. The VFX for this aura, let me just start that one again. Holy Freeze. This aura, using this aura, wow. Holy Freeze. Using this aura, the paladin can constantly slow and freeze enemies in near proximity. The VFX for this aura has been updated for better representation of the distinct wispiness and colors from the original game. Not verbatim. I made that one up as I went. Monster targets. So they have a visualization of Nova, Frost Nova at least, it looks like here. The VFX for when monsters are damaged or immobilized by spells, i.e. cold spells, poisons, or other status effects, underwent a color revision based on community feedback. Oh, so that's neat. They look very obviously blue if they're frozen. Very cool. Animation updates. Mana and health. The speed of the animation when mana and health return to your character now better aligns with the filling of the health and mana globes. Okay, so I guess that was just a minor glitch in the system before. Good that got ironed out. Seems just like a small detail. Some of the icons got updated, so they're going through potions, gems. The charms, the gear, actually, like everything really. But the focus of this update is going to be the health potion updates, the gems represented by rubies that got updated and look, I would say in some ways, closer to the original without looking weird or broken. They have skulls in another screenshot, and then the charms and weapons. And for this demo, they're using a large charm, a bow, and a paladin shield. So they're showing the three distinct stages from the original, the Tech Alpha, and the final. You can see from the health potions and also the rubies, a lot of the white tint and brightness was taken out, and they look a lot more solid. So there's, I guess, less of a sheen to them. Skulls went from an off-white to a pure white again. And I'm just going to take a look at this graphic with the charm. Okay, so it did improve. In this one, they it looks like they made the charm a little narrower in the art. And with the shield, they made it a little more prominent, which is neat. But this is the section I really wanted to get to, which is the quality of life stuff. One of the areas I was excited to see, at the very least, was a lot of the accessibility changes that I heard about. So Starting with the QOL section, elements reflect a broad of, oh my god. Let's go back a second. Quality of life. So quality of life or QOL elements reflect a broad range of features designed to make games easier to play without impacting core gameplay. If appropriately implemented, QOL changes can enrich the game's playability and make it more fun. For Diablo 2 Resurrected, we wanted to streamline this experience without compromising what made the original game memorable. There's so many unique quirks and systems in the game that, if modernized, would ultimately sabotage the original experience we adore. 100% agree. So we exercise restraint to protect the authentic experience while also considering player feedback throughout our development process. Great way to go. So accessibility. From auto gold pickup, large font modes, UI scaling for PC, and gamma contrast settings to enhance readability, we've taken strides to equip players with customization options to suit their needs. With these options, players may tweak the visibility of their HUD graphics, finding the ideal balance between the beautiful and gritty, or whatever preference they may have. We'll be touching on our efforts to make D2 Resurrected more accessible in a later, more detailed blog post. And they actually had a tweet about what they were working on in one of their replies. So someone asked about screen reader features, and one of their replies was to say that they were working on screen reader support. I can't find it, but it's there. But that's going to be pretty huge. The fact that a game is taking up that sort of level of features so that it's more playable by more people is pretty great, honestly. A lot of games just try to achieve that sort of accessibility by, throwing in a toggle for things like captions. But this is going to have the read aloud. It's going to have captions. It's going to have the built-in screen reader support, as they were saying on Twitter. So that's going to be a huge leap forward, and I honestly wish more games did that. At least on the web, there's a lot of things that are very antiquated ways of adding in accessibility, and these are much more modern and mainstream ways of doing it that don't just sort of throw it into a toggle and be like, okay, yeah, we did things. So moving on from that, and I will be looking at that blog post later on to read about some of the more detailed changes. So going on to the item names in the toggle update, just checking out this image, we can see all of the extra things we have here, like a clock, unit ammo count on skills, showing the life and mana orb text. Lots of things you kind of had to work around in the original. So that's amazing to see. There was an update to the stash tabs. They felt that it was too small, and they said, after careful deliberation, the stash tab, the shared stash, will now have 3 tabs rather than just 1. Many players felt 1 tab wasn't enough. When it comes to a player's personal storage chest, we understand it's a serious business. This change will enable players to better organize their loot across 3 tabs, 100 slots each of storage space, and store many more items. Wow, I can't English today. So essentially, we have 3 tabs with 100 slots each. Slots. Personal, shared, and shared. So 3 tabs that are shared in 1 personal. That's crazy. The compare tooltip was updated. There's an auto map improvement for readability, map settings. There's an options update for where the minimap sits on your screen. We covered a bit of this already. So we saw the clock being available already in this screenshot that I'm looking at. I'm definitely going to be using that because you never had one before. Some miscellaneous updates. Clock added. Hell, it's about time. Based on many requests, the clock has been added to Diablo 2 Resurrected. To enable the clock, go to User Interface Settings and click the checkbox next to Clock. Simple. Loading screen, character vulnerability, and time. Characters will no longer spawn in a hostile place until the game is fully loaded, preventing characters from getting attacked or harmed during the loading screen. That's pretty big. Additionally, the overall load times will be faster. That's a giant improvement. Audio change. Based on feedback, we've removed extra grunts and yelps that were initially added. Awesome. And more. The improvements detailed above are just some examples of the changes we've made to improve Diablo 2 Resurrected based on player feedback following the technical alpha test. To all who participated, thank you, which, subtext was not me. The bug reports, constructive criticism, and data you provided by playtesting were vital to making these changes. As we progress with more tests, we'll continue to be vigilant observers as we learn more from your experiences playing D2 Resurrected. Awesome. So now the what's next. This beefy section. So I'm actually going to actually read all through this. This August, players will be able to experience these latest changes firsthand. For a limited time, the gates of hell will reopen, allowing players who pre-ordered Diablo 2 Resurrected to step into Sanctuary in the early access beta. Soon after, all players on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation will also have the chance to confront the demons of the burning hells in the open beta. So that's 2 stages. One for the people who pre-ordered, and secondly for the sort of phase after that when they include everybody. Rally your friends. Together you'll be able to play between 5 different classes. Amazon, Barbarian, Paladin, Sorceress, and Druid, with access to many unique skills, and cooperatively form a party with up to 8 players. So this is co-op, obviously. The alpha test was single player, and there was only 2 or 3 classes. So this will be awesome. And 8-player co-op. I hope you're listening for D4. Maybe, more players in a party, because I know it'll be a shared area and such, but stuff. When we started working on D2 Resurrected, we were humbled by such an incredible opportunity to plunge into the past and rebuild our nostalgia. But we also recognized that the original game is a classic for a reason, so we'd have to be prudent. So many people, us included, love the game and want to see it reimagined authentically. We want to do right by this game and its players. Since our announcement at BlizzCon Online, it's been an incredible journey of development. Our collaboration with the community has given us confidence and motivation to craft a title worthy of your expectations. As we move forward, we implore you to continue sharing your feedback and accounts of your experience. These learnings will help us mold the Diablo 2 remaster we've dreamed of. We can't wait to share more about this labor of love. So stay dialed in on the community channels for more updates to come on this front, especially as the open beta approaches. And please share your impressions on the official Diablo 2 forums or the Diablo subreddit. If you want to learn more about Diablo 2 Resurrected, check out the website here, which is linked, or for real-time updates, follow our official Twitter at Diablo. Thank you, players. So, just kind of touching on wanting to do right by players, there was a lot of skepticism about this. There was a lot of people muddling around about, they did Warcraft 3 like this, and that's the type of thing we can expect from a D2 remaster, and it'll just be horrible, blah, 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 blah. Well, it isn't. Feedback on this, from what I've seen, and from someone who has been watching and just kind of taking all these updates in, it's incredible. Like I don't think they could have really done a better job of it. You can see the little improvements that have been getting made over time. Like even the chipped ruby looks more like a broken gem than I guess on the tech alpha, which was a lot more white and not I guess, but actually washed out. It looks most like a raw gem, and then it continues to like creep up in quality. For the flawless one, I almost prefer the alpha graphic, but the final one is good too. But you can see like I said, the progression in those things. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the beta. I think it'll be great. It'll be an awesome way to hop in and test all of this out. And I'm also anxious to see what they do about accessibility because, like I said, this is an area that a lot of people kind of, I guess, take for granted or try to cheap out on, I suppose, is the right way to put it. Like, there was a recent update to World of Warcraft that included a whole bunch of really good features in terms of things like text to speech for read aloud and captions and things like that. And other game developers need to take some hints here. Too often we see a lot of the antiquated web solutions being ported over to games like contrast, large text, captions, but nothing that really revolves around making the experience easier. So with things like the read aloud that I was touching on before, better UI scaling, more visible graphics. I know Path of Exile does this with the types of hues they have in all of their coloring for sockets and things like that. You want to make sure everything is visible. But this is going to be a whole different thing, and they have a good opportunity to really do this well. And from what I'm seeing, they're going to deliver. So, like I said, everyone else in the field, pay attention. This is actual advancement. I can't say that a lot of other games have really reached this level of detail, right? Because like I know the first like real accessibility features in gaming were just read aloud, like it would just dictate your menu settings to you. But that's, as much as it's a start, it doesn't really help you play better. You know what I mean? Like it lets you know what you chose, but if you have like low vision or you need some help with, using your potions, for example, it doesn't give you that extra feedback that you need, right? It doesn't make it more broadly available. It's just, okay, well, now I hear this thing and, thumbs up. But anyway, that's my rant on that. As I said, I am super looking forward to the beta. That will be in August. And yeah, can't wait to play it. I didn't get the alpha, so I can't really comment on that, but I'll leave the link to this in the YouTube description, and you can check it out yourself. Yeah, but like I said, I'll be following the Diablo Twitter and just looking out for that accessibility blog post. I'm assuming we'll hear about it more at or near the closed beta, at least. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's it for that topic. As for other Diablo news, there isn't a whole lot else happening currently. There is actually a logjam of League launches happening on July 23rd, where Diablo 3 and Path of Exile are going to be launching their season/league respectively on the same bloody day. For Diablo 3, there's not going to be a whole lot of change in the game, and that's really expected at this point in the life of the game. I'm going to bring it up on my browser here and just kind of go through this and show some extra things here. So we have the usual rewards and what have you. So the season 24 theme is going to look at bringing back some Diablo 2 nostalgia with ethereal items. A lot of the usual stuff will be available, like the set transmog that they started offering way back when. I have the whole, I have that whole set that's just a transmog. I unlocked it a long time ago, but this is the only like season theme, or one of the only ones that's not going to end up being permanent. So ethereals are only going to last for season 24, and once they're done, it's out. There's 3 per class. It's really just, like I said, a call out to D2. I'm just going to look at some of the rewards here. Seasonal cosmetics. There's a mummy pet that looks like one of the Diablo 2 NPCs. No, one of the Diablo 2 enemies. One of the guys you find in the tombs. I guess that's another shout out to D2. Yeah. The Hadrix gift rewards are going to be starting from Monk. Juliana's Demon Hunter is going to get Natalia's. Crusader is going to be Seeker of the Light. Wizard is going to be Veers. Barb is going to be Immortal King. Witch Doctor is going to be Spirit of Aratir, or however you say that, Arkir. Necromancer is going to be Trangs. And watch out for this one because they spell it differently in D2. Anyhow, yeah, like I said, this is I would call it a very minor update, but it should be interesting for the short time that it is out. We are going to be getting news of the Path of Exile expansion tomorrow. They'll be streaming it on twitch.tv/Path of Exile. I'm going to try and catch that. All we have for now is the teaser trailer, which I can bring up as well. Let me go back to my view here. So, as you can see, there's a countdown. Oh, good, it's not playing yet. Thought it would. So we see 19 hours, 32 minutes, and 33 seconds, 32 seconds counting down. There's the supporter packs that ended 19 hours. Next week news schedule. Oh, so, okay, here we go. So this is the news cycle, and they have some mystery items here. So they tend to do their announcements in Pacific Daylight Time. And we have a nice little schedule here of things that are going to happen. So July 15th is the 315 announcement and supporter packs. July 16th and 17th, they just have little eyeball emojis here. I guess that's going to be more detail into like the new skills and whatever balance changes are coming up. On the 18th, we'll have the challenge rewards. On July 19th, the Ultimatum League ends, which To me, that seems kind of odd. I didn't think they would end Ultimatum earlier. But anyway, Ultimatum League ends at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on July 19th. On the 19th, also 315 private leagues will be available. The Balance Manifesto is going to come out on the 19th as well. No time specified for those. On the 20th, it'll be the patch notes, item filter, and passive tree information. 21st is going to be all new and changed gems. So already we have some hint of what's going on. There's going to be, I guess, passive tree changes and changes to the gems. So I guess we're going to see a pass of some of the skills going on here as well. 22nd is launch day information and possible torrent link. The 23rd is going to be the expansion launch, followed by the 24th is going to be the mystery box revealed. And then separately for console, as usual, on the 28th, 315 will expand. The 315 expansion will launch for console. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be pretty interesting. I believe I talked about this last time, but Ultimatum is not going core. And that, whether it's to your chagrin or not, I think there was a lot of issues, as they pointed out, with how the rewards were kind of allocated. And just to kind of step back for a second. So the 315 announcement will be at 1 p.m. tomorrow, which is July 15th. 1 p.m. Pacific time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is my time zone. So yeah, keep an eye out on Twitch. Actually, you know what? I'll play the teaser right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, it is low volume. Okay, cool. So let's watch this 18 seconds. Okay, the audio didn't work on that, but you know what? That's okay. The visuals were enough. Essentially, this teaser shows us a lot of things, but also not much. So we see a shadow walking through what looks to be just stakes in the ground and Katarina style kind of skulls on pikes. It's a patch in, I think it's the Grave Trough map. And then we start to see some new skills. We don't know exactly what they are, but I hope they're balanced. And then it stops on these 4 NPCs of mysterious origin. So, like I said, we'll find out what all of that means. The last time we got new NPCs was in Heist League, I believe, which was the group. Obviously, Oshabi was a new one in Harvest. And I think those were the last major ones. But the one thing that is getting a little, I guess, aged in its mechanic is the whole Conquerors of the Atlas and Cirrus. Maven was the latest boss to be added, but let me just check when Conquerors of the Atlas came out. Oh, so that was in 2019. That was their December update for 2019. So it's been about a year and a half. Jesus. So this may not get changed now, or it might. because it is one of the bigger expansions, or they'll wait until the December one, but I can't see that being the case. Ultimatum wasn't exactly a giant update in terms of mechanics added to the game, but it did do a fairly large like balance pass. It didn't really change the meta of what's going on with the game. It did kind of balance a lot of the previous league mechanics, at least, and there was a lot of treatment given to, how you do lab trials, for example. I did think the ultimatum mechanic was a little bit flawed in that you never or hardly ever saw the trial master. So you kind of did the thing for explosions of loot, and they're looking to address the fact that the trial master and ultimatum itself weren't like the big sources of like stuff you could get. And because of the infrequency of the trial master, you couldn't get hate forge very often at all. So I hope that it's more of a frequent thing with the trial master. Like, it's more odds to get the 10th wave, and it doesn't have to be any more common to get hate forge. The drop rate can still be the same, but at least encountering that fight more often, giving you those extra chances at it. But that's all I have for Path of Exile at the moment. Like I said, we're going to get the real juice tomorrow, and we'll have all the detail that we need in the launch, as well as the sort of news that comes out after. And I can basically just wait until the week after, which is, just let me check, the 21st. When I can do kind of a full-on podcast episode about that. Yeah. Tell me what you think about the Diablo 2 Resurrected updates. Let me know which you're going to play, D3 or Path of Exile, when we know what the league is. I'm kind of leaning more towards Path of Exile right now. Personally, I'll be starting the league a little late. I'm going to be away the weekend of the 23rd, but no big deal. The leagues are 3 months long for a reason. It's to give people time. So, yeah, no worries about that. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you came and watched live, I'm going to take a short intermission and probably play some Diablo 2. If you're listening out there, the podcast will be available on every major platform that you're used to listening to. I'll probably have it posted either later tonight or tomorrow, most likely tomorrow. I'm going to do some slight editing. But anyway, thanks for listening and have a good night. Okay, recording is now over. Yeah, it's good. I'm gonna have my SRT file for YouTube. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna stop streaming for a bit and just get some water and get myself set up. But I'll be back